So we are live. Let me see who I can invite on here and get this thing started. Just going to send out as many links as possible to a number of different people and get things up and running. It has been a very, very busy week so far. I've had a lot of running up and down to do. I have been able to get my physical training in. Yesterday, I was so tired to the point that I essentially took the night off from the physical training and I went to sleep very, very early. And today, I caught back up with two sessions. I did a shoulder and back session as well as a leg session, abs, a bunch of other things. And I have two more sessions to go. It's taken me a while to figure out what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat. And I've continued to move forward with that sort of thing. I'm getting a lot of vegetables in. I'm getting the big shout out to the real Aaron Collins. Great to see you. Let me send you a link and bring you on. Just give me a second here. Absolutely wonderful to see you. This is the Real Speakers Corner. So many things on my mind, so many things that I would like to achieve. So little time, but just trying to make the best of what I've got and continuing to move forward. So, the real Aaron Collins, I sent you the link. Also, I can put the link inside the chat for you. So, if you'd like to come on, the channel name is the Real Speakers Corner. And give me a moment here. Let me see if it shows up. It takes a little while for these things to become popular, but if you scroll through, if you search for it, you're going to have to scroll for quite a while before you see it. Just give me a moment here. Just give me a moment here. Welcome, the real Aaron Collins.
What's going on, my brother? I had the first time on your new platform. I found it. I was literally actually just right a second before I got your notification. I was actually looking for you on YouTube. This is quite literally an answer.
I do appreciate that. And you are the first person to come on this panel for this channel. So I'm very happy to have you here.
Oh, wow, I feel honored. Wow,
So, how have you been?
been well. I'm well. I'm doing pretty well myself. I can't complain. Actually, just sitting here, just getting ready for another work, another night of work. And got a few hours to kill. So yeah, what better way to do it than hear my buddy LMP? aka the Real Speakers Corner.
Yeah, I do appreciate it. It's interesting how in the black sector things are taken out of proportion. Somebody let me know that people were thinking that the other channel got taken down because of black females. Like, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people are ridiculous.
Right. It's like, I'm not saying that I have the world's best content, but if you have to run around looking for drama to fuel your content, things are really sad with you. Plain and
Yeah,
simple. Things are really sad with you.
people are pathetic, and it's like we are the only group who really go in on each other the way we do.
You're right. You're
It's
right.
disgusting.
And for what? For,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
what? Like, why do you need to do that? But that's
Don't need
life.
to agree.
I see a lot of things going on, and I just think to myself, when you have good people around you, that's all that matters. You don't need to have the
Disgusting
extra
how people.
fools. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just disgusting how these people are.
Yes, yes, and not for what? For nothing. For nothing at all. So, like I said, I set this thing up primarily as just a social thing. People like you, Silks, Gigi, those sort of people. That's it. Just the regulars.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. I don't want to, you know, have to be there and be around the foolishness, the complaining that goes on about black female this, black female that. That's so played out, Aaron. That's so done with now.
You know, the thing is that for these folks that really hate black females so much, they sure can't keep them out of their mouth.
Exactly. Let me welcome Silks. Welcome to the show, Silks.
Hey, Life Machine Power, the real Aaron Collins. So, Life Machine, you being, I know, I just heard you say my name, but you
Yes.
didn't send me an invite.
Yeah, I sent you the invite. Yes.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Oh,
You,
sorry.
you
Then
know
I
you didn't. Don't play no games, Life Machine.
no, I wouldn't play any games with you. Definitely not. I thought I did. I would never leave you out like that. But I also put the link in the chat so anybody could
Oh, that's
come.
how I got it.
Oh,
Because my
okay.
feelings was getting a little hurt.
Oh
And
no,
we
no, no. I
do
wouldn't
get
do
our
that.
feelings hurt. And, I didn't know, I didn't notice, but we do get our feelings hurt behind YouTube.
Well, I wouldn't do that to you. So
It's a
sorry
lot of,
about that.
it's a lot of weird things going on right now.
Yeah, the audacity of some people to think that black women took down the other channel. Like, come on.
I don't know if did anybody else tell you? I know I told Life Machine and I wanted to be out there. Yes, I told Life Machine that because I was looking for your channel when it first disappeared. Because as I was saying, I was watching. I missed the women's panel, that all day women panel the women's panel that you had on that Saturday. And Aaron,
Yeah.
Aaron, if you want to say something, I could barely hear you, so I don't know if you're saying anything.
Oh yeah, I said I missed the men's panel too. I missed that one. I didn't even know anything about it. I found out from
Well,
someone else.
well, the men's panel, I was watching it, and all of a sudden, poof,
Okay.
disappear. And then I started looking for everything for you, and I said, well, what happened to Life Machine? What happened? And then I immediately wrote an email. So before, see, that's why people need to go get their information before they start making videos.
Exactly.
Right. So what I did, I went and searched and said, I wrote you. And you responded back to me and told me. Then, since you don't like to say people's names on it, but you know the
Right.
person I told you made a video about you losing your channel and trying to allude that it's because of all these women that was over here on your channel, and that what we did something to get rid of your channel. If that's the case, like Machine, we would have been did something to your channel to get rid of your channel.
Exactly. Long time ago.
So, for how many women over there, and if any woman has any, want to see you fail, and when people want to see you fail, you may not even have done anything to them. That's just the evilness that's in their heart, and the evilness is in people this day and time.
Exactly.
You know what?
Be one to get people, and nobody did nothing to, for whatever reason, they got a problem with that person. And then they want to come up in your face like they your best friend, or like they love you and they care about you. But no, they don't.
True.
But you know what, Silks, though? I mean, we were literally just talking about this too. You pretty much confirmed everything that we were just talking about. And matter of fact, I want to introduce y'all to something I found out about. There's this new trend coming out that's called cancel culture. You got a bunch of YouTubers on there literally just trying to end each other's channels because of they don't like them and stuff, trying to get rumors and things going. Now, this is basically the beef sector.
Yes.
Okay, and then like Machine, and I hope I don't lose you before I get home. And if I do, I'll just come back. And then another thing, like Machine Power, when I was getting ready to say with all of this stuff, because a lot of this stuff is some big foolishness. I just don't understand.
That's right.
But you want to certain things that I say, but I'm not saying. I know the things I'm saying is valid, okay? Just like a whole foolishness, but I lost my thought when Aaron was saying something, because I was going to tell you something else about all this foolishness about all the lies, period. People try to make money off of a lie. Well, people always have made money off of lies, so I guess nothing changed. The Lord said ain't nothing new under the sun.
You're right.
But I'm doing, and I'm working hard, like the scripture said. How you, I'm paraphrasing it. I may not be saying it correctly as it is, but how you present yourself as though you are a separate and a part of all this stuff that ain't of God to me.
I understand.
I don't know, Life Machine. I'm on one. I'm going through so much.
Go ahead, Silks. I love it when you on one. Because when you're on one, you putting out the facts and the truth, and folks don't want to hear it. But I mean, shoot, I mean, it's right on time. I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is the place.
So keep being on one.
I'm just trying to get to a place. I'm trying to get home so I could get settled down and I could really talk to. I just didn't want you to leave before I got here.
Okay, no problem.
And then I had a lifeline in my phone. So I will put myself on mute, and when I get in the house, I'll be back. Because there's a lot that I have to talk about. Because like I said, I really thought that was some foolishness. And I told him, I said, don't even start with that narrative. Because when because this is before I knew exactly what had happened to your channel. I reached out to you, but I didn't know exactly what's going. But I know for sure that the woman didn't take down your channel. I had enough confidence to believe in that, right?
Exactly.
And so when the video was made, and then he was alluding to it, I said, "Oh, don't start that narrative." I said, "Don't blame it on the women, and don't start that narrative." And I've been telling other people, I said, "Now this is I've been telling people that I work with. I said, "Now this is some foolishness on YouTube. This man did what he did to his own channel, not in a negative way, but you want something new and different. Because sometimes things get boring and stale."
You know, it's a bunch of moist dudes running around on YouTube anyway that act real feminine. Matter of fact, a lot of these females, and don't take this the wrong way, but some of these females on here, they act more man-like than some of these men because they handle their business.
Well, is it to be man like if you handle your business? And that's one a lot of things I want to get out of people here. What they want to consider what is masculinity and what is feminine.
Well, I was talking
Is
about
it,
from the fact of taking responsibility for their actions. That's what I was talking about. A lot of these dudes on here, they act real moist. It's basically what we're talking about. They blame women for their issues instead of taking responsibility and manning up, as they like to say, man up. But they're not manning up.
well,
Be like, well, yeah,
I'm sorry.
huh?
No,
Yeah,
I was going to say, rather calling them moist, because I don't want to give them no feminine traits. You know what I say is wrong with our men of this day and time? They got the Adam syndrome.
the Adam syndrome.
Yeah, when the Lord came looking for Adam and Eve syndrome, because they got which is amazing to me too. I gotta really get that in my head and get an understanding of that the Lord came looking for them in the Eden garden when they try to hide themselves and put on leaves to cover themselves up because they was naked at first. The first thing that came out of Adam's mouth was women. Woman did it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he said it was this woman you gave me. Yeah, he did
Right.
say that.
And not taking accountability then, and it's just been like that over in times and times and times after year, and we're hearing it more so right now in 2019. Everything point toward the woman. And my thing is, if you go back to the story, and I believe most Bible is true, first of all, how did Eve ended up with the serpent by herself anyway to be deceived?
Right.
You know, the story don't get into that part, because how did she end up by herself? Was he off to work? Was he what? But she was not strong enough to stand against his wiles. And then she gonna tell her mate that, and he was trying to tell her, no, don't eat of this. And she said, oh, it's okay. The serpent told me. And it happened anyway.
Right.
So yeah, so what I'm saying, even back as far as Adam and Eve, men been blaming women. And that's why I call it the Adam syndrome. And I don't think these men are moist. I think they're just not taking accountability for some of these actions that's happening on the earth. But yet still, they want to say that we're in denial.
Let me welcome Captain PY2. Welcome, Cap.
Hey, Cap.
What's up, Cap?
Hey, what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not going to, I can't stay long, man. It's glad to see you back. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm trying to get back on track to do my own live streams and stuff. So I've just been writing down information. The topics I want to talk about, and I just started like last night, and then I'm trying to do one tonight. And people have been asking me, so what I have to do is stop drinking so much damn wine. Cause like I did if I started drinking, I said, oh fuck it, I don't feel like doing it. But now, shit, I'm souped up on damn coffee and stuff. So and everybody's doing their thing, I mean, I'm like flipping back forward and backwards, while I'm listening to their stuff and taking notes. So I got trying to focus right now, man. So I just want to come on here and say it's good to see you back, brother. And I understand why you had to start a new channel. And hopefully, you can hold on to it, man.
Yeah, I get it. And like I wanted to say, Cap, you know what you gotta do. I've been knowing you for a long time, so you already know. I know.
And you've got my support 100%.
But the point is, Life Machine, he didn't lose his channel. That was a decision as a content creator, YouTube channel holder, made on his own, that you wanted something different, and you pulled everything off. That you were doxxed. It's not like you put up inappropriate content and YouTube took you. Is you made that decision?
You're breaking up.
To make a change. I said you made that decision to make the change.
I want to do a quick sidebar. real quick. You all know what the significance of the day
Exactly.
is? The December 4th, 2019.
Yeah, Silks, you're breaking up.
No, this is me talking. This is Aaron.
Okay. Are you
I
there,
can hear
Silks?
Silks. I can hear Silks
Okay.
clear.
Well, yeah, this
Okay,
Aaron
no
talking.
problem.
Oh,
Okay, go
Silk,
ahead,
were you
Aaron.
still talking? Well, my bad. I didn't even hear.
No, no, you good.
Oh, I was
I
saying
think she
that you
broke
all.
up a little bit.
I was asking everyone if they knew what the significance of the day, December 4th, is. If you don't know, I'll tell you.
I
No,
was
what
telling
what happened December 4th?
So December 4th, 1969, was the day that Black Panther leader Fred Hampton was assassinated inside of his apartment, Mark Clark, by Chicago police. And today is like an anniversary they're commemorating, and like I think they have a street named after him in Chicago.
Interesting.
Hey, hey, isn't it true? I mean, I think they were gonna make a movie, a buyout movie about Fred Hampton, and
Yeah, I heard too.
Hollywood is always bringing. No, I'm not against them, but man, this is our history here in America. But they always hiring foreign, like Nigerians, to play the role.
I agree.
So yeah, that's why I haven't. No, I'm not gonna spend money to go see that bootleg, fake ass Harriet Tubman movie or anything like that, man. And plus, they be bringing Nigerians that be talking bad about Black America. Not all of them, not all of them. I say that, but the ones that are gonna be, playing a role of our heroes, they shouldn't be here. I mean, they shouldn't. But we know what Hollywood is doing. Hollywood knows exactly what they're doing, and by hiring these foreign people,
The
So,
last
but
upload
man,
I did was, yeah, I agree, Cap.
yeah,
The
but man,
last the
LMP,
last upload I did was about Harriet. It was a review on Harriet. I went and saw it. I did.
yeah, brother, yeah. But LMP,
Well,
brother,
well,
man, I hate to go.
go
I
ahead.
hate to go, brother. But I gotta listen to this one video so I can take notes to prepare for this, this stuff, man. So I'm trying to be on the, trying to be reliable to
Hey,
people. You
Cap,
know what I
let
mean?
me
No
let me let me
problem.
tell you about this. Hey, subscribe to this channel. Cap. It's called Live Streaming Pros. They have the initials LSP. Check them out. They got a lot of good info on how to do live streams. If you want to know something else like that too.
Okay, well, I might have to get back to you on that, bro. But I
All
got
right, cool.
so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. LMP, I
Yeah.
apologize, my brother. Usually I'll stick around, but I ain't expect you to
No
go live
problem.
today.
No
So
problem. But thank you for showing up, Cap.
yes, sir. Anytime, my man. Anytime. Y'all be safe out there, brothers.
Absolutely. So take
All
care
right.
and we'll talk again.
All right. See you later.
All right. That was Captain PY2.
Did we lose Silks?
I think Silk's dropped off, but Silk should be back.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she's just getting settled in at her place.
Yeah, LMP,
Yeah,
I'm glad to
go
see
on.
you back too, man. I'm glad I talked to you. I kid you not. I was literally physically just on YouTube looking for your channel, and then your notification came by. I'm like, oh wow, talk about
I
perfect
do
timing.
appreciate that
Yeah,
because,
I
quite
think that was
frankly,
divine.
yes, it was meant to be because, quite frankly, I had to break away from the other characters. This core group is just fine for me.
I
That's
understand
it.
too, LMP. I understand. Yeah, maybe off the
And I
record.
was just, yeah.
So maybe off the record, you could tell me about who did that video about you.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely can do that. It's just, I didn't even think, like core people like you, I know would reach out to me, but I didn't think other people would be so much as interested to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that, to make something of it. But that's life.
And it's really sad, LMP, because on your last channel, you had some really key people come on there that you interviewed, and I'm like, man, you had an impressive group of people who came to the former channel, and it's
Yes,
sad
it's
that all
true. A
that
lot of
had to
cool
go.
people came.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all right. I'll reach out to the core people, and you know, I'm sure they'll come back. But I don't need anything more than that. People like you, Afrocentric, Silks. I don't need anything more than that.
I appreciate that too. I appreciate being
Yeah,
part of the core group.
not a problem because you've been here from the beginning, and you've shared your time and your insights. So it's fine for me.
I appreciate it. I think yeah, I think I found you by chance anyway. I think I was listening to someone else's channel and I saw you on their channel, and then the rest is history. You know,
Yeah,
Diane Corns, right?
yes, Diane Corns. I don't know what happened to Diane Corns. I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah,
I hope she's doing all right. I haven't seen her in a long, long time.
yeah, me too. I think Diane Corns is she had a really decent setup.
What I didn't like was that people were trying to beef with her, and she wasn't doing anything to anybody. You see how twisted the thing can be?
Yeah, I remember that. I do.
Like leave the person alone. Like, come on. Come on. You're trying to beef with the person for what? If you don't like the content, just let them stay there. You know what I mean? I'm not coming on anybody's thing to bother them. Welcome back, Silks.
Hey, Life Machine. Oh,
Hey,
I
so
was thinking that I missed because last thing I was hearing, Cap said that he didn't want to see the movie Harriet Tubman, and I wanted to get more information. Why did he feel like that? But
I saw it.
Oh, you have to step away. Go ahead.
I saw Harriet, and the reason why a lot of people have the disdain they have toward the movie is because the actress playing Harriet is in fact a British Nigerian actress, and she's actually said some stuff in the past about Black Americans that were pretty disparaging. When I did my review on it, yeah, and when I did my review on it, my thing is this: I said, okay, the movie has some pretty key points in it. For the most part, it seemed to be accurate. There are some things in there that I think they could have left out. But as far as the actress, her name is Cynthia Erivo. This is my suggestion, and I said this that maybe she should do some research on our experience here as Black people in the United States, and perhaps maybe apologize.
well, I was thinking that when you said that, I was saying, well, maybe she did, but people ain't caring about apologizing about things. But and probably people are not addressing her like they should. But I would say maybe she learned something from the movie,
Maybe,
um, or maybe not. But um, to see about some of the historical background that happened.
yeah,
I don't know. I was just asking my daughter today, did she want to go see the movie? Because if I go see it, I don't want to see. I want to see it in the big theater and pay for it so it could get some revenue. That's how I feel about some movies that I would rather pay. I don't care what the price of it is. Unless it's $100 to see a movie. If they get that outrageous, a movie start costing $100 for you to go see. But
yeah.
no matter what the price is, but my daughter wants to go see that other movie that's out. Have you heard of it, Aaron?
The movie, the other movie. Oh, are you talking about Queen and Slim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that also.
And how
But
do you
both,
feel about that?
I think it speaks to issues that we're dealing with today, especially as regarding with the police department. But definitely go see it because there's also some other key ingredients that you need to analyze and see.
Yeah, okay. So I'll probably go on. That's how it's been with me in my movie life. I always
Yeah,
have to sacrifice what I want to see to go see what someone else want to see. But since
Well, you
you
know
give
what?
the movie some credit, Aaron, I will go see that. But I could go see them both.
Yeah, go see them both. I mean, Silks and like I said, go with an analytical mindset. I wouldn't say don't go see it. I mean, because you know what? I think with us as people, I think the term boycott has become kind of trendy. It's become very generic now. It's like, oh, anytime somebody upsets you, we
This is
gonna
what I
boycott
want to. Right, but this is what I want to say about all that. Why do we have to always boycott, whether we believe in what the black movie is or not? Every time there's something black that comes out, a majority of the time, sometimes, and we don't believe in the message, we always got to boycott. Whether we believe it or not,
Interesting.
let that movie get let that black movie get us an Oscar. I don't know.
exactly.
You know,
And I got
you know
caught up
what
in
I
that one
what?
time also. I mean, when they were boycotting the actual award ceremony, the Academy Awards, because yeah, I get it. And not enough of our films are nominated. Okay, but you know what? I came to this conclusion that when the founders of the Academy, when they founded the Academy, guess what? They didn't have us in mind to begin with. So now what? I mean, I still love movies though. And just because I watched the Academy Awards, I think it's a great ceremony. I really do love the festivities that go into it. But at the same time, I realized that okay, yeah, racism exists in Hollywood, okay, but I'm gonna still do my thing, you
Good
know.
points. I just feel like when they have certain rules, they should automatically look to the people that have experienced that sort of thing first before they put it to other people. I'm sure with the millions of blacks in America, they could have found a black person from America to play the role of Harriet Tubman. I'm sure.
But didn't the British? I mean, didn't she? Well, I don't know when she went over to um, Europe, and if her family ever experienced any of the
I was listening to an.
colonization.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Silks?
I said, and if I don't know what her family experience was,
I was
but
listening to Antonio Moore. Oh, wait a minute. I think man, I don't even know when you I keep thinking you stopped talking.
I don't know if I'm having a lag.
I hear
I
you.
don't know. Yeah, I mean I hear you. I don't know if you, I just don't know when you stop talking and when you gonna
Sometimes
start again.
YouTube, Aaron, we have so much stuff that we want to say. Then somebody say something, some thought come to our head, and we want to all get it in and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
sometimes we say it before, especially at my age. Sometimes we want to say it before we forget. So that's you interject on me when I'm talking. I don't care, unless it's a point that I say, "Well, let me finish because I want to get this out." But
Yeah, you should know me. I like to be respectful. I mean, I know because I know LMP carries a respectful channel. And then that's just me. Period. I like to be respectful. Let people make their points. Um, but yeah, I was
Go right ahead,
saying
Aaron.
that I was listening to Antonio Moore, of Tone Talks, and he was making made an interesting statement about the different tribes in Nigeria. There's the Igbo, and there's another tribe he mentioned that that Cynthia's family came from, and that particular tribe, I believe, was either a slave tribe or a like a high profile tribe. I think they might have been a slave tribe, and they came. That's one of the reasons why they migrated to Europe.
were they from
So
Abuja or Lego?
I'm not sure which tribe she's from. I mean, he mentioned the Igbo and the other tribe.
Because the
Forget the name
Igbo
of
is
the
the
particular
real
tribe.
popular one there.
Yeah,
That's what
so it's
everybody.
Yoruba.
But there's another one, and I used to know the name of that tribe. I can't think of that name.
Yeah, I
That's
think
real
My
popular. Like
experience,
go ahead, Life Machine. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying all, but my experience with a lot of Nigerians has been They look down at other people who aren't Nigerian. Many of them are very arrogant. They can be very disrespectful. They chase degrees, like they'll kill themselves to get a degree. I've heard one guy, I had to straighten him out. He had said to me, he's not black. I said, you look just like me. I'm not saying all Nigerians, but the ones that I've come across have demonstrated that sort of behavior. And that's that.
Yeah,
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I
them.
have figured out?
Go ahead, Silks.
No, you know what I have figured out? It's a lot of black folks, just a lot of white folks all around the world that got issues. Whether you're in
Yes,
Nigeria, United States, wherever the hell you are in the world, if you're gonna have issues, you're gonna have some significant issues, and where everybody's joining all this crowd where they want to gang up on black folks, particularly black folks in America.
True.
and the
Well, you know
thing
what?
is that when you look at the civil rights movement, even in a place like Canada, the marches of the 60s with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these other people, those are people who've impacted the lives of people around the world. So
True.
they need to
Black
show some
folks in
respect.
America has impacted ever since we've been over here.
Yeah, we
We have
have.
impacted the lives of people around the world everywhere.
Yes,
That's
we
right.
have.
Even in the even before the 60s, everything from ever since we've been as far as many people, I'm talking about the because I don't know that much history of those that were here, the black people that were here before we were. But when we came, or when we mix and mingle, however it was, because I don't know, I just know from what the history books tell us that we have impacted everybody around the world, like machine.
Yes. Yes,
This is true.
definitely.
Because we've been through some horrible conditions. And other people, black people in other places too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but we've been through some horrible conditions, and they still are trying to kill the black man around the world. And they're not going to see because they can't, we're not going to die.
That's right.
That's right.
But they're going to be in hell once we all recognize that how we could co-mingle and, and build community, and where we instead of being the workers and the slaves, and we get the power, our power back.
Right.
What goes around comes around. I
Yep.
think Silks just dropped off, but she should be back. Because you look at the nonsense and you think to yourself, this is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the actor, I mean, the male actor in Queen and Slim, he's not Black American either, for that matter. I mean, he was the actor in Get Out. So,
Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah, you saw Get Out?
No, I didn't see it. I just feel like a movie like that would annoy me. I didn't, all the things I heard about, I didn't even look into it.
And that's another way to hurt us too, Aaron. You know,
Yeah.
you're not okay, so you're not going to get um even though talent is talent, I'm not trying to talk about no black men anywhere, but we always had that struggle here in America when it comes to the movie industry, or any of that type of television industry or something like that. We always have been held back or been cast in certain roles and things like that. And that's another slap in the face for you to bring up other black folks from other places and putting them in parts that we've been having actors that have been striving to have those roles in a long time here in America. And now that's another way of holding us down and not giving us that
Right.
type of income.
It's like it's another part of the strategy of divide and conquer, and it's like a worldwide version of Willie Lynchism because I mean I've even heard been heard. I'm not sure how true this is, but this is what I've heard. My running with it and saying is absolute truth that many foreign blacks once they go through the process, they're even told not to associate with Black Americans.
Yeah, I can
And
believe
like
that.
Well,
yeah,
I know because I've known a lot of people that came because at one time I was hanging out with the Liberian community here, and I mean
yeah,
I was hanging tough with them. And a lot of the people, when they had the war and they were leaving the country and they came over here as refugees or they came as asylees, however they got here in America. And when I was meeting them, they told me that they told them when they had them in the camps, because some of them were refugees and escaping their country at the time, which is our country, because
yeah,
that's how that country got built, because we
yeah,
went back,
Liberia.
right.
Yeah,
Um, that how and that's why they have dual citizenship.
yeah. The
uh,
capital is named Monrovia, named after former President Monroe.
right, they all have their they Liberians have dual citizenship here in America. So they have a citizenship here in Liberia, and then they have the ones here in the United States.
Yeah,
But the young lady was telling me, when she was telling, there's a couple of things that she told me about, to me, that was just what people believe, the propaganda, and believe, whatever they want to believe. But she told me, and this is before I went over to South Africa, she told me, because they did the same thing to me when I went over to South Africa, try to keep me away from the black South Africans.
right.
Um, so
Yes.
so what she told me, she said she said, you hear about things and stuff like that, but she said actually they were telling them that whatever you do, don't associate with any black Americans. They're this, that. And she said when she first saw her first black American, she was so scared because that's how they had programmed her mind. And she said when
Right.
she came over here and started living, she said she said she thought those people were nuts, because she said this is what some of the sweetest and nicest people.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
You see that?
Nigerians, they even have a derogatory term for us called a kata, if you ever heard that word before.
You see, one of the things that is so destructive is the spreading of false information. That's why people are looking over their shoulder and they're thinking, did somebody figure out what we said, which isn't true? So if the people are so bad, let other people find out how bad they are, if that's the case. Why do you have to take it on yourself to create dissent? It's so wrong.
Okay. And another thing she said to me, Life Machine, and me and her was real good. I've been trying to get back in contact with her, but she ended up marrying a con artist. That's why I stopped hanging out
Okay.
with
Wow, she
her.
literally married a con artist. Wow. Did she know he was a con artist when she married him?
She knew he was. But anyway, she didn't see him as a con artist, though.
Mm,
I'm quite sure she don't see her husband as that. But I haven't talked to her in years. Okay, so I don't know how she see her husband. I talked to her when I first came back to California, like in 2009, 10. And I haven't really seen her since. I mean, I talked to her maybe one time between and then like that. But another thing that she told me that never left my soul or my heart. She said, although she grew up being a Muslim and she practiced their religion, she said she will not never marry a Muslim man.
Why is that?
She said because growing up and in certain places, I don't know how many wives they could have. I heard that they could have a maximum of four wives. It could be more. I'm not sure because I don't know the Muslim religion that much. I only know what she told me. And she said, growing up Muslim, and even though they have all these wives, there's still a wife and children that are favored.
Of course, that
And
only makes sense.
she didn't like that feeling. And she said if she ever will have children, she will never want uh, any child that's coming up through her to have that feeling of not being the first pick of who the family is. She said that was really, really, um, she said it was not a good thing. How
I
she feel like
understand.
the women are jealous, even though the people, they try to make it seem like they are collective and they're together and they agree with it, agree with what's going on. She just didn't. She just she just told me. She just said she's just as a child and growing up into an adult, she just don't agree with the lifestyle.
Yep.
I understand,
I
and
don't really
that
agree with bigamy either. Yeah, I don't
it
agree with
only
bigamy
makes
or
sense
monogamy
if there
either.
are a bunch of different people in the true. It only makes sense if there are a bunch of people who are in the picture. They're gonna be fighting, and they're gonna prefer some over others.
Yep.
That's it.
Matter of fact, they have a term over here for these societies and sects that practice that. They call them sister wives. You heard that expression before? That term?
Oh,
Well, I never heard
I
of it
saw.
in the Muslim community, and I know, several people. I hear that in more of the Mormon community when they in Utah when they talk about sister wives and all like that, where that terminology is coming from. I didn't. I have you really heard it from the Black community?
I
And
saw
the
this.
No,
Well, actually, I did see this a few years back. I saw this young sister. She was talking about the community like that. This was a black woman talk about a black community of sister wives. Um, it was on one of those Black Nation type of communities. You would think it would be like an offshoot
interesting.
of carbonation, and you know what carbonation is, right? That would be Nature
Oh, the
Boy.
nature boy
People,
guy.
yeah, that would be him. But it was kind of similar to that type of setup.
Well, only thing that I can go off, and it's sad that a lot of people and people don't believe me. The only thing I could go off is the example that I have before me. And to me, this is the saddest part in my mother and father's relationship to me as they get older, because they both are very ill. Just yesterday, they flew my mother on a helicopter to this hospital to have some emergency surgery
I'm sorry to
done.
hear that.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I'll
Well,
be
these
praying for him.
since September, she's just been having strokes and heart attacks and all kinds of
I'll keep your
various.
family in my prayers.
Oh
So
man.
Okay,
yeah,
and
keep,
and he's even dealing with me because I never talk about it, and my family always want to make it seem like that I'm crazy and I'm just all whatever their opinion, which doesn't even matter. But um, and at this point in life, people's opinions is not really a matter about me or what they think their facts is about me. It doesn't at this point where I'm getting to the point at this age because so many times we be so hung up on what folks is thinking about us, what they're saying about us. I mean, unless you're fighting for your rights. I ain't talking about that. That's a different
Yeah.
energy. And I wish we would have more energy and not to accept all that crap that's given to us, but we fall into it. But I'm talking about when people want to curse your life
That's how I could say it, because words are powerful and people don't think that they are. And people be spreading all this negative things or what they think about you and all like this. And this is so far from you. And if they really take the time and spend some time with you, they will really know what type of person that you are. And I, like I said, I'm even coming in this families, okay, thing. And because I'm dealing with right now with my own personal being, and just it seemed like everything is attacking, want to come at me at once and like at various ways, and seem like it's trying to break me down or anything like that. And it was something that happened that's why I said my feelings getting hurt, because like people say, that's why we have all the back and forth going on YouTube, because our feelings do get hurt. And it's okay that our feelings get hurt, because sometimes people say some mean things, or you may have something filtering you, and the person may not trying to be meaning you no harm, but you may have something filter you from some past experience that made you have some kind of feeling or some kind of a way that you're not understanding at the point why you, when it's happening to you, that you're being attacked this way. Because at that point, anything that don't make you feel good inside, and I'm not talking about the fake feel good. I'm talking about some real, genuine, good feeling, and only but God could give us that. And a lot of people haven't even experienced that on this earth. But when that thing that you know to you, and you're not understanding at the moment, you know what I'm termed it, Life Machine and Aaron,
Mm-mm.
I'm
and
listening.
I was gonna and I always keep talking about all these videos I'm making. I don't ever make them out. If I could get some of this creation out of me, but the word I termed it for YouTube is growing pains,
Okay.
and how to. And I learned this concept before YouTube, and it always stuck with me. And I learned it at an older age too. I wasn't really young when I learned it, how I call it growing pains. Because anything that's growing in life, however it grows, it goes through the.
Hello? I hear a phone vibrating.
That's me.
I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me, LMP?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think maybe
Oh,
Silk's got a call, but we'll wait for her to come back. Yeah, it's a lot of different things that are going on. And the slander, Aaron. I've been so positive to some people and encouraging to those people, and they do all sorts of junk. Welcome back, Silks.
yeah, I know.
See, that's how they
LMP.
try to come in now. I'm sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, I was responding to LMP there. I know that the LMP has been very lenient with people and very generous to people, and for them to even come at him the way they did. I mean, I can see them coming at me because I have my certain views. LMP is really a down to earth type of person.
But who gives
Uh,
anybody any right to feel that they could come at anybody?
True.
And that's what I was talking about before I got cut off. And like, and I could wish I could just really control my phone better so I won't have any interruptions. But when I was talking about these growing pains and the growing pains of YouTube, that anytime if you notice anything growing or whatever, it goes through a process, and I hope it can maintain its life.
True.
And you go through these hurts and bumps and things that come across you, and you either grow and learn from it, or you don't grow and you become destroyed and wither away. And that's one thing and so I've been having my growing pains through YouTube. And some things that's filter inside me, I may not be understanding what's happening at the time when it's happening. But some things I know, I
Right.
don't live life long enough that I know is some bull.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah, and sometimes we take too much authority as individuals because we always want to control others' actions. And I mean and we got to get out of there. We got to learn how we cannot control what someone else does. We just hope that whatever they do, it does not come back and have a adverse effect on my life. And when it does that, that's when I have to stand up. And that's what a lot of people can't take. They can't take you standing up for yourself. They feel you because they supposed to have that control and power over you, and you supposed to always cower down to them. No, you're not, and not if you claim and you're living in the Lord give you, not if you a child of God. No, you can. You don't have to cower down to nobody.
Exactly.
Exactly.
How do I
And that's
say
what.
I'm serving? How do I say I'm serving a limitless, all merciful, almighty God, and I'm his child, and he's on my power, and then I'm cowering down to a human being right here on this earth?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that and that's how some of these red pill type of cats be thinking. Like you said, Silks, remember when the guy was saying that they expect the women just to sit there and listen to them, don't speak, that you could be on the platform, but you can't speak or something. I'm like, what kind of crap is that? I mean, what were you, a petulant child or something? I'm supposed to sit in it? Hell no.
And Life Machine, if you notice, I wasn't having too many problems when I used to just sit on your panel and didn't say nothing.
That's interesting.
If you remember, because I used to be real quiet.
That's an interesting point. But then when people say things, it's an issue. Wow.
Right. And I have been, we're we're over a year in some months. We've been um well, me personally, and I know others, that I have been coming to you.
Right. That's right. Definitely over a year.
Yes. Well, I know it's over a year because I know when your birthday is now.
Okay.
And last year I didn't know your birthday.
Okay.
Man,
Okay.
you doing
Okay.
better than me, Silks. I don't even know that.
Well, I got my reasons of knowing Life Machine Power's
I
birthday,
know, I
and
know,
I'm not
I know.
trying to hold it against him.
No, I
No,
got that. No,
he
I
shares a
respect it.
birthday of some person, and that's what we do, and that's where we make a lot of mistakes too, because we going into these sign things, and we judge people by other experience of other people and what sign they are, even though sometimes the signs have similarities because the astrology wouldn't have came about if it wasn't something that was there. But we are want to hold everybody accountable, just because I know Aquarius on a certain day and they share the same birthday. And so that's where we mess up a lot too. Because some of that's the thing, we always go by what is filtered inside of us. And we make a lot of mistakes because we want to judge people by, I don't, where did astrology come from anyway? I would have to go back and do some research and history on that. And it's so sad because anything that you want to know is so available through the internet this day and time. So
Yes, a lot
research.
of it. Yes.
I don't let an astrological sign. I don't get into that because an astrological sign doesn't determine my life. God Himself does that.
Yeah. Well, I used to be not just into it and reading charts and doing all that stuff like that, but I used to be because I would look at people and when they was born around certain times of year, and sometimes they did have similar behaviors, and sometimes it helped me uh understand people a little bit better, but I got too involved in it, not just to say it's your sign, but just to say, well, that's why that person's behaving because they was born at this time of the year. No, because everybody that's born at that time of year, don't respond the same to similar situations.
Right.
And if you know, and I'm thanking the Lord, because if I have been deceived all those years, I'm glad He's bringing me out of that deception.
I understand.
Yeah, just even
Exactly.
like the psychological test. You know, there's a, I forgot which one it is, but it's the one is it goes on the personalities, and they had studied it, and they that some people, and that, yeah, that's when they go on the introvert, the extrovert, and all those different. If you guys have heard of it before, and they even go on it by people with color schemes and things like that, and that's how they want to clump people together to form, and it's a way of control to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, because this week I've been studying a lot of information, life for me, because it's something that happened to me that's so significant, and and it made me start studying movements.
Okay.
'Cause we always have these movements, and if you have whatever the movement is for, and we are caught up in some of these moves, because some of these movements haven't always been positive.
True.
Some of the movements, or any of the movements, a lot of people don't want to take, you know, when negative things happen in life and go wrong, they want to blame the movement. And if you associated with that movement any kind of way, you have to take on the good and the bad about it.
I understand.
Because that's what I was doing. I was just studying, and this well,
Hello?
Are you there?
yeah, I'm going because I want to go, because I don't know if you guys gonna ever find out, or if it's because I really don't, because I've really been silent on it, and I really haven't been speaking on it. But it made me, I want, instead of going into telling what happened, because that's not even that important. The important part is how I growed and I developed from it, and that's why I'm talking about the growing pain so strong. That I started studying certain movements. Why in 2019 we are behaving in this manner.
That's a good question.
Mm,
Well, I feel a lot of our behavior is because of movements.
movements.
Yeah, movements. I'm talking about, huh?
Okay, so you talking about movements, and you talking about like events. Okay, you're not talking about body movement. You talking about movements as far as like the Black Power movement or the so. Okay, is that what you mean?
Right, right.
Okay,
And
yeah,
and some of these movements, I don't have anything against them, because I'm
right,
glad that we did have them, because some of the things, the positive things that, as far as Black people too, well, we're experiencing because of some of these movements. Like we was just Life Machine mentioned the civil rights movement just earlier.
right.
Okay, so one of the movements that got into a discussion where some negative things came out about, well, I perceived it to be negative about me personally, and how I handled the discussion. That one of the movements is, why are men in the birthing, why he's there in participating in childbirth.
Interesting.
And um and so I started studying the movement, right? Because the thing came about it when it came to me, especially if you don't understand these movements too. Because I'm a woman, I birthed children in this world. It wasn't not my experience. My ex-husband was not in the room when I delivered either one of my children, but that was a choice of his, and that was a choice of mine's, as a sense that I was not even thinking about him being in the room with me. Okay. Um, and so neither one of us made a decision for him to be in there. And it was not as strong now as the movement is now, of more men being in the child in the room when a woman is giving birth. And so I was studying other things of childbirth, but then when I got into why are the men in there anyway? And as I started studying, it did evolve because of a movement. Because my response back to him that how because how it's coming at me that the men are made to be in there. And I was saying, well, how are you made to be in there? Ain't nobody holding you at a gun at your head, making you force a man to be in there with the woman while she's delivering life into this world. And so it did start with the feminist woman pushing it, and also the childbirthing movement pushing it. But a lot of people don't understand when they talk about the feminist movement, they really think that's a lot of women that have that was there's a lot of men involved in the feminist movement too. And that's what a lot of people don't recognize either. Okay. Because it was not only when that was being discussed and part of the movement in society where now the men are a great part of the childbearing process. But half of the people don't even know how that got evolved. How the point I'm trying to make is when these movements happen, you are part of the movement and you not participating in it just that way, but you are part of it because you associated with that movement. Like I'm associated with the movement because I'm a woman and I birth children when it comes to that whole thing. So I could be accused, and that's what a lot of people are saying, that I'm part of the process why men are in more so nowadays that they have ever been in life in the childbearing process. But a lot of people don't understand too that a lot of men fall for this too.
That's a good point. But the thing, it really comes down to the individual choices. In some situations, they would want them there, others, they don't want them. So it comes down to those individuals. Not every guy can stand in that room and watch that.
True.
A woman don't even watch a life machine. We don't know what's going on when we're giving childbirth. It was times that they have put mirrors in front of it, but we're learning, some of us are learning, even if you having a baby, you're learning more about seeing a baby come to this earth because of the movement and how now the movement have allowed for there could be filming in there and all that to show people how a baby is born naturally and through surgery.
Interesting.
I didn't think it even took a movement to even do something like that. I didn't realize that. I thought a man would want to be there to see the birth of his seed.
Again, it depends on the type of man.
Yeah,
you
Well,
know,
I
I
guess.
got, well, I got, because of the discussion became so strong, and then the way it's coming across in the public about me, that I'm being looked at a bad light because of my response to it. But as I was saying, I don't know I don't know how it looked for me when I gave my children in the world. Only thing I could see from my point where I was sitting up there and I'm having birthing well, one child I ain't even see, okay, but my first daughter, I did nobody think about putting a mirror in me and let me see what the reflection of how it looks when a child is being birthed in this world. So I don't know how it look. Only thing that I can remember, which is a miracle, and I never talk about it as a miracle because people think you be lying and stuff like this, but I'm not lying. Only thing that it was so painful, life machine, up to the hours of me having her, that when it was for time for her to come into this world, she shot out. And like people make a joke about it because they say, well, like, like it was they did it, a couple of comedians did it in some of their shows. And I said it happened just like that. Only thing that she was attached to the umbilical cord and she was so slippery. All he was doing was trying to keep her from falling. And all I remember at that moment, Aaron and life, that I was saying, Doctor, please don't drop my baby. 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 And he was finally able to get the grips on her.
Right.
Okay. I never heard of being shot out. I never heard of that before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she came out quick.
Yeah, I
And
think
I
some babies are like that. They come out. That's why. And then I think when the ones that have a hard time coming out, I think that's where they have the cesarean section.
Well, no, I could complain about my second child with that one, but this
Oh,
first
okay.
one, and when she came, and when he finally was able to grip her and hold on to her, and with all that activity, we knew she was alive. Okay, because all she heard her mom say was, "Please don't drop my daughter. Please don't drop my baby, doctor. Please don't drop my baby." That's all I was saying, and I didn't have nothing wrong with me. I was in full form. I didn't have no, I didn't get torn or nothing. I didn't need nothing after um the whole process of birth because you give another birth and that's why they call it the afterbirth, which is almost the size of the baby. And that's where all the baby, when a woman is carrying a baby, that's where all the baby waste goes into.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yes, which science has found a way to use that waste to heal people.
I didn't
And
know that. Heal them from what though?
it's the placenta,
Okay.
and that comes out of you just as large as the baby, and
Oh.
that's the whole part of the birth process, and
Mhm.
it's a lot that comes with that. The woman and the baby is so near death, but our God, our Heavenly Father is so great because look how many people have survived the process. Some people don't make it through,
Mhm.
some people do.
Most mammals, to which human beings are placentals, meaning the baby comes out of a womb, or placenta, as Silk said.
Well, now I ain't talking about the baby. That comes after. They call it the afterbirth, but it is really the placenta. It, after after the woman have, and if that's going through a birthing process, because you got to push that out of you too. But with this child that I had, it was just so beautiful because when she came out, everything just slid out. Like I mean, it was just like I don't know, it was just a wonderful experience and a miracle that I'm looking at him and seeing that he about to drop my baby. You know, uh,
Well, I'm
I
glad he didn't drop it.
I
all
can
the pain and
I,
everything. What
I
you were
can tell
saying.
Silk right now. I can see that Silk's right now. If he'd have dropped the baby, I can just see Silk would probably got up out of the bed and whoop that doctor's ass.
Well, at that time when I was giving birth to my oldest daughter, that I did not. At that time, they didn't tell you like how they even going as far in 2019 where they having these revealing parties now because the way modern technology has gotten, most doctors, and people in that field, they can see what actually the birth of the child is now before the child is born. At that time, when I gave birth to my child, we didn't have that. Or if you was, maybe some rich people had it, because the poor people come so far behind. of the ring.
Yes. Decades, centuries.
Okay. So I don't know if they had it then at that time in history. I bet you if we look it up, they probably did have it then. But I wasn't privy on that at that time. So I didn't know the birth of my child. Only thing I know what I prayed for, I know what I asked for, and I know what I got for my first child being born. And she came out exactly what I wanted with this birth. So that's why, and there's so many things in my life. That's why I believe in prayer so much. And I don't care what nobody say. They can say, oh, so blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It may not work for you, but I know it works for me. No, it don't work in the way that I want because I would be a multimillionaire right now.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah, but some of the things and what the Lord has blessed me with because I asked him for it, I done seen that many times happen in this walk of life for me and my personal experience. And and so that was that birth. My second daughter, I didn't have no surgical procedure with her either, but she was I guess she wasn't ready to come yet. And they speed the process up. And when they sped the process up, it caused me so much pain. And since it was causing me so much pain, they had to slow the process down, which that
Very
caused me to
interesting.
be so high and drugged.
The drugs
I
are dangerous.
yeah, I was really, 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 really drugged. Um, that I didn't even want to see her when she came into the world. Most times when babies are born and mothers are excited, fathers in the room, they're excited too, because I done seen the process where the fathers in the room. So some fathers can handle it, some men can handle it, but it should be not a forced situation in a man. It should be, to me, if that's what if he choose to do, to be in the room when his child is being.
Right.
And I don't feel no movement should have done that. Um,
Right. Right.
But if men was a part of that process, as I was gathering up information and finding out that they were, then okay, so it's divided. Now I don't know. I'm not going into the percentage that how many is this, how many that, because we don't have no enough. We don't have and we're not gonna go through all the people. But some men do want to be in there in the process of seeing their child being born.
I think some who are from a medical background would be more inclined to be there.
Life Machine is something that don't have no medical background is inclined, or maybe they did, but maybe they didn't finish their education to become one. So somebody with that strong medical background up in it. I done seen. I done seen. Only had but one grandchild that was born, and her father um was there.
Are you there, Silks?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you.
You broke up a little bit.
I said that I have 6 grandchildren. I didn't tell you how many I had before, but I have 6 grandchildren.
Hello, Silks?
And can you hear me, Life Machine? Or Eric said you can hear me. You can hear me, Aaron, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Ask
I
Life
guess
Machine,
it's
can
just a
you
little
hear you?
bit.
LMP, can you hear folks?
No, you.
Yes, I can hear you now. I
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you, Aaron.
Yeah, I can hear you, Silks.
I said that there's one man that was in the room that I experienced because I was in the room with him that saw his child being born. And I do believe that was his choice. Because all the
Interesting.
women that was in the room, because it was four of us, it was me. It was four of us in there. And if we made the decision for him, his ass wouldn't have been in there. So,
You don't need him in there.
so that was particularly of his choice, and since he was the father, none of, and that's why they said that we are always in denial. We want to argue and fuss and fight. So not one of us said that man could not be in there with his child being born if he wanted to come in there. And I was a shock that they allowed. It was, besides the mother giving birth, it was four of us in the room. So
Yeah,
it's
some.
possible.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Life Machine.
I was gonna say that it's different in different cultures. Some cultures, they only want certain people in the room. Other cultures, it's not as big a deal. It all depends.
Well,
And
that's
sometimes,
what.
sorry.
No, but that's where part of the discussion came about, because this discussion is that we as Black women are so far, since we Black American women are so far of our natural being of who we are, as any African element or anything like that in us, and we done took on all these Western ways and stuff like that, and um and that's why we don't understand as women, is that now we're so of this Western culture is a part of our culture. If we were from originally from our place and where we originally came, and I don't understand why men could be still have their African, after all of this years, their African heritage in them, but the women don't have ours. Because that's one of the biggest arguments that is coming about, is that feminism has changed so much in America, and they all are trying to blame it on the women. But when people are talking about the feminist movement, though, that's not just women. Frederick Douglass was one of our greatest, biggest abolitionists and feminists.
Interesting. Very
Yeah, it is
interesting.
interesting.
But
No,
here's
that's
the
So
thing.
when we have movements, it just can't be just a certain gender or person. It be masses of people in these movements, just like when they had the civil rights movement, and a lot of people are mad and don't understand. It was a lot of white folks that was involved with that movement.
That's a good point.
Anybody that was close to anybody Black, whether you were white, and the reason why it looked like it's white and Black, because it was the struggle between white and Black, but it was other groups that participated because they had struggles too. It was mostly everybody that was of color here in America that was participating in that too. But somehow everybody done lost their mind
Yeah,
in
you
the
had that.
process of getting this freedom,
Yeah,
so-called freedom.
You had the Brown Berets. You also had the Red Tower, or you had the American Indian movement, AIM, Leonard Peltier. You also had the Puerto Rican movement too.
So
We
here's the
have
thing.
so many. Go ahead, Life.
Here's the thing. Not to cut you guys off, but I got to go to the bed and get some rest. But I will be back on tomorrow. Will I be able to get you guys tomorrow to continue this?
Life Machine, you got this the real speaker's corner.
Right.
And if we could speak freely about some things so we could hopefully get a better understanding in this world, and you're allowing it through your channel, I'll be more than glad to come.
All right. No problem. No problem. So I do have, like I said, I do have to get off of here and get some rest, but we can
Well, I hope you
continue.
rest well.
I appreciate it. I do need it. So we can really continue this tomorrow. I'll set it up. I'll open it up once again, like always. And I appreciate you and the real Aaron Collins for coming out over here. And
Definitely, I'm so glad me and Sis could christen your new channel.
yes, I do appreciate it. I
Right,
do
and
appreciate
Cap. Life Machine, what is
it.
a good time and how long do you have? Because, since I'm not off work till 5 o'clock in the
Okay.
evening.
So a good time I think would be because you're 3 hours behind.
Right.
So maybe let's say 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That would be
Okay. Be five
about
thirty.
right.
Okay.
And Aaron is also in the same time zone as you, so it would
Yeah,
be able
we're
to
in the
him.
same county.
Okay, and Gigi as well. That's a lot of people from that zone, so probably like 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll come back. I'll open it up. There'll just be a big, broad discussion. Hopefully, we can get some more people. I've reached out to Air Black TV, the New York faction. I reached out to a bunch of people to let them know that I'm over here now. So that's it. All we need is a small core group. We don't need any other
Well, are
characters.
these on private or are these still being shown to
Oh,
the
yeah,
people?
full. Yeah, all the way out. It's,
Well,
out
what
there.
makes you think that you're not going to get the full response anymore? Just
Well, I
because
don't
you changed the
go ahead.
name and change the channel, you still have that audience and and the people that there's a lot of people still looking for you, Life Machine. So I'm not understanding. And like I was talking earlier, aim everything in for us to understand at the point that it's happening.
I
Let them.
understand. Well, sometimes people like bigger numbers, like they want to go places where there seems to be more going on. But I'll just, like I said, reach out to the core people, and that's that. I'm happy with the core, and that's all.
Well, I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm
Sure.
gonna try to shut up so you can go. But a lot of people don't even understand that when it comes to these movements, that a lot of it is happening because of the small groups,
Mm,
people.
yeah, they
Is
start small and grassroots.
Yeah, a lot of people want to run to the masses and think it's more power when that, but sometimes it's very impacting them. And a lot of I had one of my mentors, like I talk about him all the time, and he's so gone. And I said, well, all my mentors gone. I've got to be the one that's doing the menteeing now. But um, he gave me a book once, and I can't find that book for wherever. And I never did read it, but I read the title, and it was the impact of the small churches on the civil rights movement.
Mm,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
I
something
read
we
some
can
of it, and
cover.
I'm gonna look for it. I put it probably in the library somewhere. I'm gonna find it. And I think it will be a good read for a lot of people to understand, because a lot of people don't think that small groups has that power and impact, and it does.
That's
So
a
on that
really good point.
note, thank you for having me here, and thanks,
No
Aaron.
problem.
Yeah.
All right,
It
so
says,
we'll
does it
talk
still snow on the
next time.
ground where you are?
No, that's been gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's snow over here where I'm at. Oh,
Right? Like, did you see my snow videos?
oh yes, I
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah, I saw it too. I commented on it, so
I know you did, Aaron, and I thank you. I appreciated that because a lot of people don't think it's snow here, and I wanted to let them see. And I was really upset that day.
But
oh
you must
wow.
be way up north in that place then for the snow.
I don't. No,
Are you
I'm
close
not.
to Canada? Oh,
No, 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 no. I'm up north. I'm like Aaron said, we're in the same county, but I am in the northern section of, and it's some parts that is higher in LA County than what I am.
Yeah. I think you're like
okay.
closer to Big Bear. Even though you're still in LA County, but I think you're closer to Big Bear, and Big Bear it snows there too.
Oh, Big Bear. That's how I know I never did like snow then, because I went up there a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow we'll definitely continue the conversation and we'll just open it up.
I don't know
And
what
we'll
I'm gonna do when I come visit Canada. When we come visit Canada, Life Machine.
yeah, you got to show us around T Town, LNP.
Summertime. It has to be in the summertime. The winter
It's
is not
still
so
cold in
hot.
your summer.
I know, but at least there's no snow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to get away from the snow because you showed me the snow, the thing that you put together, and I saw the snow. It was snow like that just the other day, just like that here.
Well, like Aaron keeps telling you to come to California. And
Yeah,
everybody always want to look at the expense of California, but once you come here, you'll learn how to survive here. And
exactly.
you're already
I've
your
been
own
doing it for years.
self-sufficient man, Life Machine. There's a lot of trash. Not trash. I hate to put it, minimize it as trash.
No, it is what it is. That's fine. That's okay. Trash, recycle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
used to snow. I mean, I'm from Chicago, so I'm used to snow. So
there's a lot of movement in that for you.
yeah,
A lot of opportunity here in California, whichever direction you want to go in. That's why it's so sad that so many people are suffering here because there's so much opportunity here. But
yeah. This is like, especially LA. This is like a hustle town.
I hear you, and it's an interesting environment. When you see people hustling, for me at least, I'm inspired to do more. I'm in a place where they're not too interested in hustling and making a living. It's just everybody trying to ride off of everybody else's work. You know what I mean? Like Aaron works, so let's get to know Aaron so we can use him because we don't have the self confidence to work for ourselves.
well, you have that
Mm.
element here, but you do have people that's striving to do better here. And then you have the Hollywood element here. You
Yep.
have you have the public school education that if you want to go after your education is not that expensive to go. It's a lot. And it's a beautiful place to see and to be.
I hear you
Yep.
on that.
And then you'll find some good people out the so many million that are here.
Yeah. You
Just
got me out here, Silks Arts out here.
You're right. A bunch of people. Most of the people use Silks, GG, Art.
mm-hmm.
A lot of people. Most of the people that I come across are from out there,
You
coincidentally.
don't have nothing holding you back there.
You're right.
You and like I said, you're already self-sufficient. You could just pick up what you're doing here and do it here. Just make
Yeah.
sure you have enough money to sustain you a little self, because none of us have much to give you when you come. I don't know about all of us,
Right, right, right. It's all good. It's
but if
all
we
good.
did, Life Machine, we'll put you up in a minute.
No problem. I appreciate the honesty. So, all right. So we'll talk again. I got to wrap this up, but it's always
Okay,
a pleasure. All
all
right.
right.
Take
All
care.
right,
All right.
Ellen.
Okay. All right.